Joining me today in this conversation is Chandrika Deb, Country Manager of Canva India. Chandrika, many thanks for speaking to PTI.
Thank you so much, Mamata. Really excited to speak to you.
So let's get down to it. Canva has grown remarkably in India's design and creator ecosystem, and this ecosystem is in fact booming as we speak. How important is India strategically to you in terms of the global growth story today?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say, Canva, as you know, is the world's largest design platform today, and India is actually one of our top markets that is driving growth for Canva. We're the fourth largest market for Canva. We've also been consistently one of the fastest growing markets. So we've been growing at a strong double-digit growth over the last 2, 3 years. So even though we've acquired such a huge base of users, we're continuing to see tremendous growth coming from the market. I think till date, Indians have created about 2.8 billion designs on Canva. About a 2.5 million designs are created every single day. And not just that, we're seeing very strong adoption of our AI features in the market as well, whether that's Canva AI, which we launched a few months back, whether it's all the magic features that we have, like Magic Write, Translate, Magic Design. So tremendous growth coming from India across segments, whether that's creators, educators, small businesses, consumers, knowledge workers. Across the spectrum, we're seeing that there's a lot of emphasis on design, and people are really engaging in, using Canva in their everyday lives, whether it's for work or for personal use.
Could you share some numbers in terms of your current active user base in India? How have you scaled it over the past year in terms of growth numbers? And you said India is right now the fourth largest market for you globally. What are the big factors that are driving it?
Sure. Unfortunately, I may not be able to share exact numbers in terms of what our active user base looks like. But like I said, over the last 2, 3 years, we've been seeing very strong growth, double-digit growth coming year on year from India itself, making it our top market globally in terms of fourth largest market globally. In terms of what is really driving our growth is that over the last few years, we've started investing a lot in building a truly local product and brand for India. What that means is that we've been investing a lot in reaching as many users as possible in the spirit of our global mission of empowering the world to design. We've kind of extended that to India as well. And our mission is to reach every user in India, empower them to design, educate them about the various features that we have. And so we've invested a lot in hyperlocal brand building. You might have seen that we launched our Dil Se Design Tak campaign last year, and we launched a second edition this year as well. Apart from that, we've also been investing a lot in building a truly local product. And what that means is empowering Indian users to be able to find content that is most relevant to them culturally, linguistically, socioeconomically. Um, right from the start, we've been investing in helping Indian users really design on mobile. As we all know, India is a mobile first market, and design can often be complicated for users. But how do we empower them to design on the go, anywhere that they are, on any device of their choice, in any language of their choice? We've launched various hyperlocal content on the platform, whether it's weddings, whether it's festivals, really understanding what the use cases of Indian users are. And at the same time, we've also been making a lot of effort in building strong monetization SKUs. So making paying for Canva use much easier for Indian users. So we launched something like 1 day, 1 week plans, which make it much more valuable for users and convenient for them to use. So a lot of effort going into building the right product so that we empower Indians to design the way they want to. And finally, I would say we've been building a lot of strategic partnerships, whether that's with government partners, whether that's with small business communities, to really see how we can empower specifically the education and small business communities to really kind of scale their design operations and their design needs. You might have seen, we recently launched a partnership with NCERT to launch like a teacher certification course that will help teachers kind of understand how to integrate design in their classrooms. Similarly, we work with about 500 plus creators in India to actually co-create content for our library and to help them kind of showcase their work on our platform as well. So everything that we're doing from a localized product and brand building, I think that has really helped us scale our growth in India.
Okay, and which are the sectors and content use cases, according to you, that are driving a strong demand as we speak of design tools and over the next 12 months?
Sure. So I think in India, it's been very interesting that we've started actually seeing a lot of growth coming from people using design at work. I think in the first decade of our existence, we were focusing on empowering individuals to design. I think in this decade, in the second decade of our existence, we are really focusing on how organizations can be empowered to design. So a lot of growth that we've been seeing coming from is actually from professionals, small businesses, creators who are using design a lot for work. I think especially with our AI features that have gotten launched recently. So if you take Canva AI as an example, as one of our biggest features, India is actually the biggest market that uses that, where you just go and you enter a prompt on any kind of visual that you might need, and you get a variety of graphics or content that you can choose from.
Chandrika, do you
So
see India rising in that, in terms of from the fourth largest market? Do you see it sort of climbing the ladder now that, we have a huge digital base? We are a young nation full of Gen Zs and young aspirations, and really a lot of content creators coming out of this space. I don't know, students, college going youngsters as well, all of them, the digital first generation really using Canva big time. Will India rise in the ranking so far as a revenue market? And when you say fourth largest, are you looking at it from a revenue point of view or from a user base point of view?
yeah, sure. So when we say fourth largest, we mean in terms of user base right now, which is primarily the kind of metric we look at and goal we look at globally as well. In terms of, as you rightly said, there's a lot of adoption among young users, whether it's, people using it in schools, whether people are using it in colleges. So students is actually a very big community. Content creators, I mean, I think they use Canva on a daily basis to, build their brands, to build their social media content. So there's definitely a lot of kind of adoption we see in these communities. And we have one of the world's largest student communities. We have one of the world's largest creator communities as well. So we definitely see India kind of rising in the ranks. There's no reason why India shouldn't be the number one market for Canva. And that is the ambition that we're kind of all gunning for. And all of our investments are kind of in that range. Now, as far as monetization goes, like I said, we definitely want to kind of empower users first in terms of getting them to use Canva, engaging with the product, seeing how well they retain, how well they interact with the product. And then you'll see that a lot of effort is also being made in terms of making payments easier for Indian users. Like I spoke about the 1 day, 1 week plans. We're planning to launch a bunch of other SKUs in terms of pricing, where we're able to package our features, including AI features, in a way where we make it more affordable for Indian users and they see value to be able to use it long term as well. So the objective right now is to enable users and empower them to use the product, see how well they engage, how we can, kind of use our community's feedback to make our product stronger, and then building solutions that will make payments easier for them and, make, kind of using those SKUs easier so that they see value in using all of our additional features or premium features, such as the AI features we have.
Okay, how do you see government's latest proposal, the proposed amendment to IT rules on labeling of AI content and greater onus on not only social media companies, but those who are enabling such tools to be used by users? And do you have any thoughts on how it should get implemented? So first of all, how do you see the move, India's progress to sort of labeling AI content? Some of the large markets already do that. We are going to mandate it. How do you see that? And two, what kind of feedback would you like to give the government so far as implementation is concerned?
Yeah, sure. I mean, see, at Canva, we take, trust and safety very seriously, whether it's how we build our product and as well as how we kind of deploy AI within the product itself, right? And we also believe that, transparency builds trust for any digital media platform. So we completely understand where the government's perspective is kind of coming from. What we would love is to, have an opportunity to collaborate better with them, whether it's with the policymakers, whether it's the implementation kind of drivers, whether it's with other partners in the ecosystem, to make sure that it is something that combines accountability as well as creative freedom. We definitely do believe that we don't want to encourage the use of AI for anything that is deceptive, misleading in any form. So we're looking forward to how the government runs this, and making creative freedom at the core of it, but also making it an accountable use of AI.
When it comes to your own tool, is there a prompt right now which you encourage users to sort of label AI generated content even as we speak? And are you now, once it's sort of mandated between now and then, what steps are you taking to ensure that it is implemented well within your, visual suite?
Absolutely. So we have something called Canva Shield that we use, which basically ensures that any AI generated content meets safety standards. It meets all of the, kind of content safety guardrails that we need to kind of ensure. So today also, as our models are learning to generate AI content, as we are, kind of developing these models further, we anyway kind of use, guardrails and rules to make sure that they're safe, and we also use something called Canva Shield, which kind of ensures that it is something that is as per our safety guardrails.
Okay. What is your vision for Canva in India over the next 3 to 5 years? How do you see India emerging as a design hub for Canva itself? And what are your expansion and hiring plans here?
Yeah, so over the last, I would say, year, we've actively been expanding our team as well. So um, it's definitely something that we are planning to kind of scale over the next few years as well. In the early years, we wanted to make sure we have leaner teams that can help us kind of drive strategic priorities. But as you mentioned, we've seen exploding growth coming from the markets. We want to continue expanding those efforts and hire for roles where we need more local support. In terms of where we see India being in the Canva ecosystem, like I said, we wanted to be the number one market for Canva. And so any investments we make, whether it's in terms of brand building, whether it's in terms of creating the right product, whether it's in terms of the partnerships that we're building with governments, we really want it to be something that we continue to prioritize to kind of reach every internet user in India. That's about 1 billion users that you can almost aim for. So it's definitely something that we will continue to focus on. In terms of where we see growth coming from, I think it is going to come from across the user segments that we have. Individuals across metros, tier one, tier two cities are increasingly using Canva and are focusing on design to kind of build their own social media platforms to kind of communicate for their own personal needs. So whether it's kind of things like finding what those consumer use cases are. So one interesting use case that we kind of really leveraged was how we launched WhatsApp templates for good morning messages, because we realized that's something that users use on a daily basis. So really identifying those needs that Indian users have to kind of help them use Canva on a daily basis and use design in their everyday lives. In terms of professional use cases, like I said, we're building a lot of partnerships with education departments to kind of train teachers and students to use Canva in the classrooms. We're working with higher ed institutions also to make Canva accessible for them by kind of conducting workshops and various kind of community engagement events. Small businesses is something that's a big priority for us, along with kind of larger organizations, where we're working with them to see how Canva can be used in their everyday work, not just to create visual communication content, but also to kind of improve productivity, empower workflows, and kind of making sure that it makes scaling business much easier for them and building stronger brands. So yeah, across all of these segments, we see how this growth will come from. And as we're integrating more of the AI related features, whether it's Magic Write, whether it's Translate, whether it's Canva AI, localizing it in multiple Indian languages has really helped us kind of make sure that Indians are able to use it at scale and are able to kind of localize it as per their needs. So I think all of these are going to help us kind of reach that goal that we have of making India the number one market.
Right. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you two questions. One is on this whole theory and debate that is, you know, unfolding, circulating globally on AI bubble. And this conversation is is very, very verbal. It's very loud in the US, lesser so I think in other markets. But people are actually debating whether we're in the middle of a dot-com life era of a bubble of sorts in AI, and there are circular deals that we are seeing. Companies buying from each other, investing in return from each other. So circular deals are seen as controversial. What is your take on whether or not this AI is for, the AI wave is for real, or are we likely to see any correction there? And two, what is your personal favorite when it comes to the Canva suite?
I mean, we definitely see AI as being something that will is becoming a more critical skill for users to have. We don't see it as something that will replace human effort, human thinking in any way. It's meant to be an enabler and a something that supercharges, any kind of creative work or any kind of work that people are doing at the professional space. So we definitely don't think it's a bubble or it's just a wave that we're riding. It's more about how people are integrating AI to make themselves more productive, whether it's overcoming creative blocks, whether it's improving efficiency in workflows, whether it's better collaboration with teams. In fact, we did a report recently which was on the state of marketing in AI. And more than 90% of people believe that having AI related skills is going to be critical in the next 2 to 4 years. But like I said, it is something that we see as an enabler and not as a replacement for human thinking, creativity, or effort in any way. So from that perspective, it is something that we will continue to invest in to make design easier and more efficient for our users. My personal favorite on AI features that we have is Canva AI, which I have been speaking about, which is extremely simple to use. It really helps you overcome any kind of creative blocks that you have. It can generate different types of content, help you iterate those, and really localize it and scale it the way you want to. So, if there's one thing that I would encourage you or anybody you kind of listening to this to use, it would be that feature on our platform.
Chandrika Dev, it was wonderful speaking to you. Many thanks for speaking to PTI.
Thank you so much, Mamata. Lovely speaking to you too.